Hey everybody, it's Ed. I have been watching on HBO Max now. They have put the Elvis movie that was released on June 24th of 2022 is now accessible on HBO Max, should you have that. I believe that's the only official streaming service where it's available, or you can do it on video on demand where you can buy it as well. I believe the DVD/Blu-ray will be coming out this week, if it's not out already. Haven't been to the stores, haven't checked, so sorry if I don't have that information. But I guess the point of this video is it's almost like a part 3 review. I believe I did 2 review videos already of the Elvis movie with my initial thoughts when I first came out of the theater and got home, which really wasn't very flattering, but I didn't think it put it down either. And then the next day, I did a video where I had more time to think about it, and my review was a lot more gracious towards the movie and everything about it. And now, having the opportunity to watch it a few times or watch bits and pieces here and there, and just picking up on little nuances and things and differences or similarities, attention to detail, the way the movie was filmed, shot, the cinematography of it, the lighting of it, the directing of it, everything about this movie. Well, okay, I shouldn't say everything, but almost everything about this movie, this as I like to see it, realistic fairy tale. That's how I think of it. This particular movie. I think of it as a realistic fairy tale, and only in the sense that because even though the movie is named Elvis, it is it is about Elvis, but it's really again it's more about the relationship between Elvis and the Colonel, and that the way that the movie is written, it is told through the perspective of the Colonel. So even at points where the Colonel wasn't present with Elvis, we're getting Elvis's story as well. So if you base that on the way the script is written, then the source of the story is still the Colonel. And you have to think of the Colonel as a possible unreliable source or question how reliable he is as a source. But again, it's still a movie, and which means it's not 100% entirely accurate. So that's why I kind of classify it as a realistic fairy tale. And that's why in that classification, this movie really, really works for me. And the more I watch it, the more I really, really like it. And the point of this video is that because of that, I really, really want to see that 4-hour cut that Laz Berman has stated that he basically had to cut down from a 4-hour movie to the 2-hour and 30 something minute movie that was released to the theaters, to make the movie what they consider to be a manageable time. But manageable time, of course, is subjective and questionable, because if you're engrossed in the movie and the story and the visuals and everything else about it, I've seen 3.5-hour movies that didn't feel like 3.5 hours in a good way, meaning that they flew by and still left wanting more, which is really the best thing that you could ask for when you make a movie or any type of creative endeavor. Is the ability to leave them with wanting more. And I think even the Colonel says that in the beginning of the movie. But regardless, I really enjoy the movie. I enjoy the attention to detail, even in the respect of things that were not 100% entirely accurate. There are parts of things that may not be 100% accurate that are completely accurate, in the sense of maybe the outfit that was being worn, was accurate to that particular time or whatever. But just the attention to detail in the costumes and the clothing, the the house, the house that wasn't filmed at Graceland. That was a recreation of Graceland that was built, I think it's somewhere in Australia. And yeah, I mean, again, movie magic. to me, the movie was engrossing. It was engaging. I thoroughly enjoyed, I would have to say, 95% of it. Um, what I can't even really think of any particular things that I did not enjoy about it at this point, but the parts that I really, really love are the Vegas rehearsal scene where he's talking about what he wants and you know, who he wants involved. Sweet Inspirations, the Imperials, you know, Something Peace Orchestra, and just the way it segues into him getting what he wanted and then just immediately ushering into the rehearsal. And the way Austin played that scene was absolutely phenomenal. It was unbelievable. Great, great job. Where he directs each member as to what he's looking for and the sound he wants, and eventually working over to the trumpets to get them to do that, you know, ba-dum-bum, and then pushing up the octave, and then having the trombones do that one note at that, you know, at that time, and creating that sound. And the thing that I loved about that, although again it's may not be 100% accurate, is that as he's doing this, the character, and this is something I just recently noticed upon, you know, multiple watches, the character who's playing Joe Gershaw, who is the conductor of the orchestra, as this is all happening, you see him like taking it in, and then like they cut away, then the next thing when they cut back, you see him like he's what do they call it? Charting. He's charting the music as it's happening. And just like, again, those little minute attention to detail. The band members, the one who played Ronnie Tutt, even James Burton, Jerry Schiff, um, you know, were spot on. I mean, that whole drum beat when Elvis, you know, it's like, oh, Ronnie, you know what to do, take it home, and Ron starts doing his thing, and I mean, it was perfect. It was perfect. I absolutely love that scene. So well done. But it leaves me wondering what was cut out of the movie. Was this, you know, this segments filmed with him on Frank Sinatra, um, uh, you know, on Milton. Well, they did the Milton Berle bit, but they could have probably done a little bit more with it. They could have probably done more about the Aloha from Hawaii. Um, you know, there's a lot. There's a lot. And it's absolutely possible that the 4-hour cut could be an entirely different pacing, and maybe put the movie in a different spin. I don't know, you know, but it's really up to Baz Luhrmann as to whether or not he is going to release that 4-hour cut. But it would definitely be something that I would be looking forward to. And if you view this video, leave me a comment. Let me know, is it something that you would want to see? Would you be willing to sit through the 4-hour cut of an Elvis movie done by Baz Luhrmann? Got to be honest with you, again, the more I watch it, I'm just blown away by certain things. And again, another one of those things is the way that the movie opens. Just the visual aspect of it, the auditorial cues, also the music that's being played, and the editing. And I don't know, man. I thought the movie, the way it opened, was really perfectly done, and somewhat funny too, in a sense, even though it was kind of, you know, ending off on a tragedy of Parker collapsing, and of course in distress, when they when they zoom over to the Christmas card, and it shows Elvis, well, the caricature of Elvis, and he's like, for those of you who are wondering who this man is, and then it zooms over and he's like, I am the legendary Colonel Tom Parker. I don't know, I laugh every time I see that part. And yeah, you know, this movie, I guess really the best way I can put it, it gives me all the feels. It and my father, I think, says it best because he's seen it a lot. And basically the way he put it to me is, Ed, every time I watch it, it brings me back. It's like I'm there again. So that's something. I think that, you know, a lot of weight behind it, for my father to say that. So I'm going to stop rambling. I'm going to leave it at that. We're just about at 10 minutes. So again, I am talking about the Elvis movie 2022 starring Austin Butler, Tom Hanks, and many, many, many other talented folks. But yeah, I would love to see that 4-hour cut. And let's hope that Boz winds up giving it to us. So leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Do you want it? Do you not want it? Are you happy with what you got so far? Are you not happy with the movie? Leave me a comment. Let me know. All right. But I appreciate you watching. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. Take care, everybody.